After watching Through Wild Kurdistan, I was rejuvenated, I was refreshed, I was ready to go on to further adventures of Kara Ben Nemsi as he works his way through these strange lands. That was until I sat down and actually watched In the Kingdom of the Silver Line. Now, this isn't a bad movie, far from it, but compared to the film that came previously, it was a little bit of a letdown. It feels noticeably slower, it's more repetitive, and honestly, a little less adventurous than I was expecting. But it still has charm, it still has good locations, it has that larger than life pulp storytelling, but it definitely felt like a step down for me. So let's talk about it.
Das ist kein gutes Zeichen, Silly. Geier bedeuten Tod.
Yeah.
One of the things I loved about this is it comes in as a clear continuation of the last movie. We have the dog that was given to him continuing straight into this one. Just lets you know that we're continuing the story with these characters. It feels like an evolution. We're on to the next adventure in this serial, which is a real easy way to step into this movie, or it should be. But there is something disassociative about the films where you don't quite fit straight back into the swing of things. It takes a little bit of time. We have a more talk-heavy film here where it's all about discussions and theories, a little bit of espionage and political dealings going on here again, and it just didn't grab me as quickly as Through Wild Kurdistan. Again, we've got a lot of our characters back again. We have our hero and Omar continuing their journey. We've got the Lord and his butler popping up every now and again for some great humour and levity within this one, including some questionable but incredibly fun hot air balloon effects that come at a certain part of this movie. Yeah, needs to be seen to be believed. The biggest difference from the previous film, though, is it feels more like people discussing adventure, planning an adventure, waiting for the adventure. There is still action sequences and travel sequences, but they're much more spread out, and I just feel like we are going from point A to point B to do this, and it just doesn't feel like we're on this crazy misaligned adventure. The chemistry between Nemsi and Omar is great. I really love this partnership. Omar kind of brings the kind of humour and oddity to it. It stops the film becoming too dry. I guess the locations are absolutely wonderful. The costuming and production design, I think, really hits the mark here as well. But it's a story. It's a story that kind of lets it down, and it doesn't quite hit everything that the last film did. The action sequences are decent when they happen, but there is too long between them. There is some good escapes and confrontations, but some of them feel just there to add a little excitement into a sequence, and sometimes they just aren't that exciting. There are long stretches where the characters explain their plans, what they're going to do, discuss politics, move slowly between locations, and it starts to lose the momentum that was there that drove the last film. It's just less memorable overall. The threats never particularly feel that intense. By this point, I kind of know that Nemsi is going to win out the day at some point, and it doesn't create that same excitement that was in the last one. It feels better than the shoot, but nowhere near as good as Through Wild Kurdistan.
Etwas gefunden?
Nein, gar nichts, Sir.
Aber wenn meine Theorie stimmt, dann könnte hier die Arche Noah gelandet sein.
I do appreciate the continuation of the story and the continuation of the characters on their journey. I feel like that helps give an easy into the film. They just need to hit the adventure quicker than what they do. It lacks that momentum once the adventure starts. The film constantly being pushed forward through talks rather than actions, and it stalls one time too often. And because the tension isn't really there, it's not strong enough to compensate for the lack of action or the lack of movement or the lack of forward momentum throughout it. Still, it's overall enjoyable. The strong chemistry between the leads and the characters, you get a strong production value, which I think it really works in its favour. But it's decent rather than being a standout film. And when I think of these Kara Ben Nemsi films, the three we've had here, there is a clear standout in two films that are merely average. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for In the Kingdom of the Silver Line. After the film, we have an introduction by Sir Christopher Freeling. This runs for 3 minutes 5 seconds. He's talking a lot about how quickly this came after the previous entry, and talks about some of the plot points that were maybe smoothed over to bring characters back. Heroes on horseback. Dr. Alice Browner on Karl May at CCC. This runs for 26 minutes 8 seconds. She's got her talking about her father, the impact that he had, his most productive period of his creative career, the amount of movies he put out and the legacy that he built. Prodigal Son is 26 minutes 8 seconds and is all about Robert Siodmark. This is delivered by Sheldon Hall, and I think this was absolutely fantastic, talking a broad overview of his career, how he landed in America, the movies that made his impact, coming back to Germany and really landing a second sort of wind and more creative output again. I thought it was really fascinating on a director that I thought I knew a little bit about, and this just gave me some more information. Next, we have the archival restoration featurette, which is 3 minutes 8 seconds, just talking about the restoration project. I would have liked more comparisons, just showing us the footage they had to where it ended up. So we don't get that, but we do get a sort of quick overview of working on this. And there's also a trailer. That's the extras for In the Kingdom of the Silver Line. So there we are. In the Kingdom of the Silver Line, it finishes off this small trilogy in the middle of this set of this character. It never quite hits the same heights as the middle part. It's slower, more dialogue heavy. It's still worth watching if you're working your way through it. None of these movies have been terrible as yet, which I'm really grateful for. I'd love to know what you think of this one, so let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership program and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.